shitty. He like, nigga, Nipsey just died. I'm like, huh? I'm like, he like, Nipsey dead. I'm like, hey, bro, stop playing with the set before a nigga do something to you, nigga.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody get their flowers after death like Nipsey. You know what I'm saying? It's like when Nipsey died, the interviews dropped. We actually got to see a lot of his mind frame for people that wasn't tapped in.
Well,
for you, like, was it always that? Did you see that from him the whole time?
What, people giving him his flowers?
No, I'm talking about like the knowledge that he was spitting, what he was doing.
Hell yeah. He was like, God sent him over there to the set, like, just to get us right. He like, for sure was a prophet or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Nip, I don't give a fuck what it is. You know, me, I went to private school too when I was young, so and all that shit. So I always had good grades. I went to college and shit, so he didn't. You get what I'm saying? But the shit he talking about and the shit he doing and he reading every night, I be at the studio, I come to that bitch 2 in the morning, nigga, it's hot than a bitch. He going through a book, watching the Steve Jobs documentary, he watching all the greats. He reading from Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, for just studying them. He always was he was a student his whole life.
Yeah.
And he had soaked that shit up, but he puts it to use the next day. Like, you know how we be like, oh, we gonna wait till we get 50,000 and we had put 5,000 on this. Man, 5,000 for what? Like, I got $200 left. Like, nigga, I got this. I'm gonna go sell that. Boom, bop, boom. Drop this tape. It's already set out. He don't give a fuck. He's spending his last on his career, and I didn't catch on there. I never spent no money on my career till I got out of jail.
Damn. So, like, the day that he died, man, were you in LA when that happened?
Unfortunately, yeah, I was in LA County Jail.
Damn.
I was there, but I wasn't there, man.
Yeah.
I was so far away, but so close.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, what the impact that it had on y'all. Did it travel through the jails? Because when we heard it, it was like, damn, Nip, him? Like,
I don't know. That shit was crazy. I ain't know that. It was Opps in there crying about that shit. Like, I'm looking like, nigga, is you playing? Like, nigga, I'm like, damn, the whole world love this nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Cause I was telling them niggas, I was in a day room fucking around. I think we had just blew some wax or something. I'm high in a bitch. We sitting in the day room. And the way that the jail was set up, like, my boy was roaming. Like, we could pop out of our dorm, like, cause we was it's like my 3rd year in jail, so we in the low security. You know, I got juice, nigga, bounce out, walk around and shit. So my boy was roaming. He was in my shit. We sit right there, faded. And a nigga from Blackstone, from Black P Stones, like the Blackstone Gorilla niggas, but they hood. It was a nigga from they hood came to me like, hey, blood, he like, shitty. He like, nigga, Nipsey just died. I'm like, huh? I'm like, he like, Nipsey dead. I'm like, hey, bro, stop playing with the set before a nigga do something to you, nigga. What the fuck is you talk about Nipsey dead? In my eyes, Nipsey can't die. So I'm like, you get what I'm saying? I'm like, how is he dumb enough to get caught? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, in my head, not dumb enough, but how was he caught lacking? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, let me get to the phone. So everybody cleared out the phone for me. It was like, nigga, so this when I start thinking, I'm like, cause the Mexicans even cleared out the phone for me. They was on the phone with they people. And they didn't want to tell me. Cause they know, like, we always be talking this shit, like, Nip paid for my lawyer on this last case. On my first lawyer, I fired, never hired a nigga Mark Blasted, y'all. Let's stop it right now. Let me do that. Mark Blasted is the worst lawyer in Los Angeles. He keep robbing the homies. You keep robbing the homies and dropping Nipsey name. He's doing it after death. Like, he just, my little homie, my other artist that I got signed to me, RS, I told him, don't book him. No, this Nipsey lawyer. I'm like, that's not Nipsey lawyer, bro. I'm like, this just a little pistol case lawyer. Like, my little homie, he in jail for a murder. That nigga gave that nigga about 35,000, bro. He just dropped off the case, ain't did nothing, ain't did nothing. We just had to get somebody else like 40,000. I told him, like, slow your, pump your brakes. Because it don't matter, but yeah. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, he paid for my lawyer. Fuck Mark Blasted and Nip paid for my lawyer. So he used to look out for my daughter and shit. I think like my daughter's birthday is early March. I don't want to get no exact dates, but early March. I was in jail my baby mama had took the kids to go to the movies and shit. And him and Monty Mom was up there. Him and Monty was up there, or had met up somehow. He took all them to the movies and shit, like right a couple weeks before they died. So like our relationship was like close. Like when I first went to jail, he talked to me for 2 hours how I had to stop fucking up or whatever. Then I called back, my nigga Fats was dead. Like the next morning, I'm like, fuck. I went to jail, probably like 4 days later, Fats got killed. You know what I'm saying? So I lost Fats and Nip when I was in jail.
That's great.
Shout out Reallyfe Street Starz, nigga. Move it. Hey.